Chairperson, Senator James P.
How to speak to the press.
Distinguished partisans of the National Executive Committee of the National Patriotic Party. South. Distinguished partisans of the National Patriotic Party. The press. On August 4, 2022, the Supreme Court handed down two separate rulings in the NPP matter before it. In the first case, Joel Howard Taylor standard bearer versus James P. Banning, National Chairman and all, the Supreme Court sustained the Civil Law Code ruling which held that, and I quote, having perused the records of the case and the contentions of the parties, the court holds that standard bearer Joel Howard Taylor, an ex-officio member of the National Patriotic Party National Executive Committee, has no authority to convene meetings or issue formal communications in the name of the party. The court further says, all actions taken by standard bearers to convene meetings, to preside over meetings, conventions, and administer the affairs of the party administratively were illegal and unconstitutional, and hence reversible and unenforceable, and accordingly the standard bearer herein are all jointly and severally barred, prevented, prohibited, and restrained from attempting to usurp, interfere with, obstruct, impede, and assume any of the functions and operations of the National Executive Committee of the National Patriotic Party. In said case, the Supreme Court also upheld the 2004 Constitution produced by the Banning's leadership and its amendments which were adopted in Tottenham, Bombay County 2016. The court furthered that the alleged 2016 revised constitution relied on by Madam Joel Howard Taylor, standard bearer of the NPP, be simultaneously declared illegal, null and void ab initio. The National Chairman, the National Secretary General, and other ranking members of the National Executive Committee are the proper and lawful authority to convene meetings of the party and issue our publication in the name of the party. Unquote. In its second ruling, the Supreme Court overturned the decision of the National Elections Commission and recognized James P. Banning as the legitimate chairman of the party. And all officers in his leadership, and requested him, Chairman Banning, to take the party to a 7th biennial convention in line with the party constitution, and mandated the Civil Law Code to resume jurisdiction over the matter. On the strength of the two rulings, the Civil Law Code mandated the Banning's leadership to take the party to a 7th biennial convention before October 15, 2022. On October 7, 2022, the Banning's leadership, having notified the Elections Commission, convened the NPP 7th biennial convention at the Pinsville Town Hall, in line with Article 17.3 of the NPP Constitution, which states, all decisions issued arising at convention and meetings shall be made by secret ballot, one man, one vote. The delegates duly accredited at the convention elected the below persons. 1. James Banning, Chairman. 2. George Mobile, Vice Chairman for Administration. 3. Partisan Dauda Meska, Vice Chairman for Operations. Partisan Anthony Allison Bako, Vice Chairman for Government Affairs. Partisan Dropo Mekazon, Vice Chairman for Special Project. Partisan Charlene Taylor, Vice Chairman on Inter-Party Affairs. Partisan John Siawe, Vice Chairman Policy and Research. Partisan Orlando Yao, Vice Chairman Finance and Investment. Partisan Xavier Zoe Taylor, Vice Chair Social Services. And Partisan Thomas G. Gobard, National Treasurer. While the delegates were in the hall conducting the business of the convention, Madam Joy Howard Taylor, who never entered the convention hall, assembled a disorderly crowd in gross disregard to the ruling of the Supreme Court in the yard of the Pennsylvania Town Hall. She inducted herself as standard bearer for a third term and pronounced Councillor Stanley McLean as her new chairman and Partisan Maurice P. as her Secretary General. In response to her action, Chief Allen, Chairman Emeritus of the party, issued a public condemnation of Madam Taylor's action and termed it unconstitutional. Additionally, the Governing Council of the Coalition for Democratic Change released a statement affirming the Barney's leadership and rejecting Stanley McLean as chairman of the NPP. Mrs. Taylor subsequently announced to the public that she stood by her actions and called on the coalition to recognize that the NPP is an independent party and she will not abide by what the coalition said. She has since run a parallel structure of the party in Monrovia and in counties where her actions are rejected by the NPP partisans. Be that as it may, on the second Saturday of December 2022, Madam Joy Howard Taylor's tenure as standard bearer of the NPP constitutionally ended, in line with Article 3.2 and number 1 of the NPP Constitution. I repeat, on the second Saturday of December 2022, that's 2 Saturdays back, Madam Joy Howard Taylor's tenure as standard bearer of the NPP constitutionally ended. Hence, constitutionally, she's not a standard bearer of the party. 3.2 of the Constitution says, there shall be a national convention held once every 6 years, and during the year of the general and presidential election, amongst other things, to nominate and endorse candidates for presidential, legislative position as a result of primaries held in the political subdivisions. 9.1. No officer or official of the party can succeed himself or herself more than once. Except amended, the Constitution of the NPP prohibits Madam Taylor and all elected officials from seeking a third term. Madam Taylor was first elected standard bearer of the party in 2010 and was re-elected 2016 for a 6-year term. In line with the National Elections Commission published its electoral guidelines and the National Patriotic Party Constitution, Section 11.1, nomination of legislative candidates. 11.2, nomination of presidential candidates. The National Executive Committee today, in its Thursday, December 29, 2022 sitting, mandates the Secretary General to give notice inviting application for members for nomination as party legislative candidates for the ensuing elections and standard bearer for the NPP. The party has already given the Secretary General the authority to issue that notice. In a related development, the coalition document, as the coalition document comes to an end, the constituent parties have constituted a framework committee to draw up the new framework that will be acceptable and beneficial to the parties. When the progress is made on this front, we will inform you appropriately. Finally, the National Executive Committee of the party calls on all its partisans across the country to remain law-abiding and cooperate with the National Executive Committee. Thanks very kindly, issued by the National Executive Committee of the National Patriotic Party. Thank you very much. I'll entertain 1 or 2 questions.
My name. Good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Chairman, my name is